Hello, welcome to my introduction video to Oracle deck reviews, or just Oracle reviews. I started writing up some notes, typing up some notes, and it ended up with me writing, and I figured I'd better get over here and talk to you before it's too late. So I'm setting up a playlist on Oracle reviews, or on the Oracle in general. There will be reviews there of many different divination tools. As I'm talking about it now, I'm going to use the word tarot just to make it easy, but I'll be reviewing tarot decks, oracle decks, and other non-card divination tools as well. But I thought like divination tools review sounded a little awkward. Anyway, I'm approaching this from the perspective of a practitioner and not a scholar. Whoopsie. So my reviews are based on my experience, and I have a lot of experience. I've been reading tarot for 22 years. I've been a practicing astrologer for almost 30. I'm not going to be going into the murky history and the, academic history of tarot. It's kind of like driving a car. I don't have to study how my car works, how the internal combustion engine works in order to be a very good driver. And you also don't have a salesman give you like the entire history of the automobile in order to sell you on the features of the one that you'd like to buy. So no scholarship here, or very little anyway. In the realm of metaphysics and spirituality, I am allergic to two things. And if you've taken my classes before, let's hear it in three-part harmony. Superstition, dogma. Okay, so I do not approach this from a superstitious standpoint that the cards are evil or sacred or anything other than ink and cardboard. I know, so here's what I know and what I believe. I know that the cards are ink and cardboard. I know that if I throw them on the floor and stomp all over them or flush them down the toilet, nothing bad is going to happen to me. I also know people who believe the exact opposite. Beliefs are very powerful. They definitely run the show, but you have to choose your beliefs. And when you get into superstition, you're not conscious of your beliefs. Superstition comes from belief systems that you're not conscious of, and you do things just out of like knee-jerk without thinking about them. I'm all about thinking about stuff. So that even the images themselves, it's not the images themselves that hold power, although they can be images that are very resonant with the human psyche, very archetypal images. But it's really your relationship to the images that holds the power. It's what they evoke. At a certain time in your life with a certain question in your mind, maybe one image will really resonate with you and evoke a lot of information coming from your deep mind. At other times, it won't. So it's your relationship with the images that holds the power. So how do I treat my cards? I treat them with respect, but not with superstition. I treat them with deference because it sends a signal to my unconscious mind, my subconscious mind, which is the gateway through which you connect with universal intelligence. It sends a message to that part of my mind that something very special is going to happen when they come out. When I used to do fairs and do many, many readings in a day, and my mind would be so fogged at the end of the day, I would come home, put my cards all in order, set them on my altar with a crystal on top, and let them rest. I feel it makes a difference. I think it helped me clear my mind. Was there a power at work there other than the power of my mind? I don't think so. I don't know is the bottom line there. So, okay. Yes, I am psychic. And I only partially agree when I hear people say everybody's psychic. Okay, it is a sense. So for the most part, it's true. But it's like music and a sense of music. Anyone of average intelligence can learn the skill and the behavior of playing a simple song on the piano. But not everyone is a concert pianist. The difference is this divine freebie that we call talent. It's like somebody can learn how to draw and do shapes and things, in a certain fashion, but then Some people are artists, and the difference is talent. Some people can produce beautiful music with very little training. Some people can get a high level of skills through really hard work. Some know good music when they hear it, but couldn't play a song to save their lives no matter how hard they try. Some people have a tin ear, and some people are deaf. So there are many, many, many different grades. It's the same thing with psychic ability. You can develop what you have, but you can't get more than you have talent-wise, okay? And if you don't have it, you can't fake it. If people have ever been to readers where they do a reading and clearly they've studied the deck, they know what it means, they know what all the images are, you know, they can even explain the history of the card, but it doesn't relate to anything, that's a reading from someone who's not psychic. So what the psychic is the ability to connect, not only to universal intelligence, but to connect to the other person, to connect to the energy of the other person through the tool, whatever the tool is, tarot, oracle, you know, other divination tools. So what I'm going to do with these oracle reviews is I'm going to have a rating system here. And I want to show this deck in this video, or just the cover of it. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot with the artwork by Pamela Colman. Everybody, I think, has seen this tarot. This is probably majority of people. This is their first deck. When you think of tarot, this is what pops into most people's heads. It is certainly not the oldest deck. It's a modern deck, but it's the modern basis of tarot, and I'm not going to go into the deep history unless I'm, you know, reviewing a deck, and then I can talk about these images are from, you know, way, way back. At any rate, I'm going to compare decks to this in terms of whether they're tarot format and how far they deviate from these kind of standard now images. You know, obviously, if something is not a tarot deck or it's an oracle deck or a different kind of tool, I'm not going to relate it to this. It'll, you know, sort of stand on its own. At any rate, that's going to give me a basis of comparison. The rest of it is going to come from my experience of the deck. So we're going to be talking about my taste in artwork. This is going to be totally subjective, totally empirical. So, you know, there is no universal, this deck is good and this deck is bad, although I've seen videos of people saying, you know, this deck is bad, and what they need to say is, in my opinion, or I personally don't like this deck. So you will know it's my personal opinion. I own 111 decks at this point. I collect them, and a whole bunch of other non-deck tools as well. It's up to 120 some, you know, total. At any rate, I have a lot to draw on. My rating system for them, of course, once I dive in and start doing these, it might change. But I'm going to use the suits of the tarot. And you'll notice that I say tarot. A lot of people say tarot. The reason I say tarot is because it's French, and they put the emphasis on the last syllable. So anyway, there's a little academic for you. Very little. So the rating system. Rods, cups, swords, and pentacles. Rods are going to be about the meanings and the writing of the meanings. You know, how well I like those, so 1 to 4 rods rating. Cups are going to be about the artwork and the quality of the artwork. Swords, fire element, are going to be about how well these cards read. Frankly, you know, and again, back to the personal. Some decks are beautiful decks, but they don't read for me. And there are some, I'm sure, that don't read for anybody. To each their own. Again, even as a reader, it's the personal connection with the deck that makes it a psychic tool for you. You know, a bridge, a gateway, whatever, for you to do readings. So the swords are going to be the measure of how well this deck clicks for me, how well it reads, does it talk to me or doesn't it? And pentacles will be just about the quality of the deck itself, the quality of the paper, the feel of them, the value as far as cost, and all like that there. So that's the basic rundown. I'm going to hopefully put up a review rather frequently. I'm going to be putting up at least a video a week on different topics, but I'm not going to make any promises as to, regular consistency at this point. The first review that I do will be the Hanson Roberts deck, and that will be coming up very, very soon. I also intend to let you see all of the cards. The one thing you can't do, even though there are great websites that review decks, Eclectic is one of them. I'll list that down below. They show like 6 cards in the backs of them, but still you only see 6. I like to see the whole deck. So, this is a place that you'll get to do that, and I'll give you links to purchase and all that kind of stuff. Possibly do a little reading with each one. We'll see how that goes. At any rate, there's your introduction. Thanks for watching. Look forward to them. It's going to be fun. I'll see you later, folks. Bye-bye.